Well, hello my darlings, and welcome back to our channel. I am so glad you are here. Today on Danie's Designs Craftmas 2018 day 14, I am going to show you how to create a 3-dimensional Mr. Snowman Mantle Decor. Please stay tuned. For this project, you will need one of these standing photo frames, some Mod Podge, silver glitter. You will need some Christmas florals and some bullet lights. You will need a flat foam disc. I've already wrapped mine in red ribbon and lined it with black felt. You will need a 2-inch foam ball, a 5-inch foam ball. You will need a length of evergreen garland, a red bow, and one of these hats. You will need 2 jingle bells, and of course you will need your handy dandy tools. Let's get crafting. So the first thing we are going to have to do to prepare for our project is take our 2 styrofoam balls and our hat and cut them into half. Now usually I would be using my styrofoam cutter for this process, but that too decided to go the way of Big Blue and has died on me. And so to circumvent that, I am using a large kitchen knife to cut this styrofoam ball into half, which is not giving me as clean a cut as my styrofoam cutter would. When I'm finished cutting my 5-inch ball into half, I'm going to do the same thing with my 2-inch ball, making sure that I'm cutting this right down the middle. And when I am finished with that styrofoam piece, I'm going to take my razor and likewise I'm going to cut this hat in half after I have removed the foam, or the disc rather, that is on the bottom. And the good thing about these hats is that they're made of foam, so similar to using my large kitchen knife, I'm simply taking my box cutter and I'm cutting down this hat right down the middle so that I have a front and a back. So here we have the 2 halves of our snowman, and what we are going to do now is glue or place some Mod Podge on our styrofoam halves. Now as you can see, I am going in with copious amounts of this Mod Podge because I want, when I glitter my ball, for that glue to get into all of the nooks and the crannies and the little spaces in between that styrofoam. And so the only way to do this is to make sure that you are lathering this styrofoam ball with your Mod Podge. And if there are any holes, if like me you're reusing one of those styrofoam rounds, if there are any holes from where possibly you place florals into it, just feel free to fill those holes with Mod Podge as well. Once you have placed your Mod Podge on your ball, you are then going to cover this styrofoam half with silver glitter. And to do this, and to do this, and to do this, you are going to take your glitter and sprinkle it onto your ball. Of course, make sure you have something under your ball to catch any of that excess glitter. Hopefully, you'll be able to reuse that glitter. But as you can see I'm doing, I am placing a lot similarly of glitter on this ball because I want to make sure, like I said earlier, all those nooks and crannies are going to be filled in. You will repeat this process 3 more times with your other halves. So while we're waiting for our glittered balls or styrofoam halves to dry, we are now going to start to build up the foundation of our piece. To do this, we're simply going to go ahead in with some hot glue on the base of that standing frame, placing some hot glue on our styrofoam flat as well, and we are going to merge those two by placing them one on top of the other, applying some pressure and allowing to set for a few moments. In the essence of time, I am going to show you in the same reel how after your piece has dried, you are now going to take your floral Christmas florals, whatever color, whatever type of flower you chose to use, and simply stick them into your foam on the diagonal for maximum coverage. As you can see, I'm going to go all around the base of that disc of our stand until that whole disc is covered. Here is our frame, the base of which we decorated with our Christmas florals. And now we are going to take our evergreen garland and we are going to cover the sides of our frame with it. How we are going to do this is simply go in with a foundation of hot glue around the edge to anchor it. I'm going to use a popsicle stick. See, just got burnt. A popsicle stick to hold this down in place while we wait for it to set. Again, remembering that this garland has in it embedded a wire, so it's going to take a little while longer to set into place as usual. But what I'm going to do is simply place hot glue in very strategic places until that entire garland has been framed around my frame. Here is our piece that we have covered both front and back with our evergreen garland. And now it is time for the magic. What we are going to do is take our two halves of styrofoam balls and we are going to glue them on top of that plastic piece that is the frame of, well, the middle of the frame. To do this, I'm finding my placement to see just how far down I'm going to need to place my snowman's body. And once I have found my placement, and you can see how that ball was not cut straight down, so make sure when you are doing this, my darlings, you are cutting your ball in half, cleanly in half, and like I said, a styrofoam cutter will do the trick. Once I have placed my foundation of glue, I am going to place his body down and hold it into place while that hot glue dries through that styrofoam and onto the plastic. Here he is, the first half of our snowman that has been set into place and dried. And what we're going to do now, as you can see the back of him there on that frame, is we are going to repeat the process on the other side, being sure to line him up precisely so that it looks like he is slicing through the plastic that is that frame. Again, placing your foundation of hot glue onto the styrofoam itself and then placing a few streams of that hot glue onto the plastic and then sitting that styrofoam ball in the glue, being sure to line it up precisely with the ball in front that we have already placed. Once you have found your placement, you are going to similarly hold it in place to make sure that that hot glue has a chance to connect with the styrofoam ball as well as with the plastic. So here he is, my darlings, the front of our snowman as well as the back of our snowman. And what I went ahead and did was place a few snowflake stickers that I had from our last project onto his shoulder and falling from the top of that frame, as well as gave him his little bow around his neck. What we are going to do now is place our hat, the front of it, on the front of our snowman and the back of it also on the back of our snowman. But first, what we have to do is find exactly where we need to glue that hat down onto our frame, making sure that we have enough space for the brim of that hat. Once you have found your placement, it is simply a matter of placing a foundation of that hot glue onto your frame and then placing some hot glue onto the brim of that hat in the middle where we took it from, and then placing your brim underneath your hat and holding both parts until that hot glue has set and dried. You will then repeat the same process on the back side of your frame. So here he is, almost done with his jingle bell, and that is the front of him with his hat. And then here is the back of him with his hat and his second jingle bell down by his feet. This is so darling. Oh my gosh. So now the last thing that we need to do is take our blinking bullet lights. Remember, we use the colored ones to these in our princess hat Christmas tree that we created a few days ago. Now we're going to be using the white ones that simply twist on and twist off, and we're not going to be gluing these down. All we're going to be doing is just sticking them in between the foliage so that you get the effect of the blinking lights through the leaves of, in this case, your poinsettias. So I am going to continue to place some more of these lights. I will clean this up of any glue fronds there are. I will stage our piece and be back to show you our finished project. Well, here you have them, my darlings. Our 3D Mr. Snowman Mantle Decor. Aren't these absolutely fabulous? I am so happy with the way these turned out, my darlings. When I got the vision, I just knew that I had to figure out a way to put this together and to get it done. I love the way we were able to attain that 3D effect, to have that snowman look like he is actually busting through that frame, both in the front and at the back. And I think while I'm at it, I'm just going to have to say that my favorite part of this project is going to have to be not necessarily the snowman himself, but how we were able to attain that 3D effect with his hat as well. My darlings, we have nailed yet another project, and again, a project within a meaningful budget. Listen, if you have found any value in this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, as well as leave me a comment in the comment section below. Tell me, my darlings, would you use this on your mantle, or would you use this on a buffet table, or even as a centerpiece for any of your holiday events this holiday season? I would love to hear from you. To my Danie's darlings, I just would like to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your love, your comments, your questions, your feedback, but most importantly, your encouragement even through these 25 days of Craftmas. Please know that it is appreciated. I'm tearing up a little bit, and I appreciate each and every one of you. To those of you who may not yet be Danie's darlings, however, we would like to invite you to subscribe to our channel and join our ever-growing community of DIYers as we learn from and craft with each other on a weekly basis, or in this case on a daily basis during our Craftmas season. When you do subscribe, also be sure to ring the notification bell to ensure that you are made aware whenever any of our videos are published, as well as whenever we go live as a community. We can't wait for you to join us. Before I leave this video today, Danie's Designs Craftmas 2018 day 14, I am going to leave you with the motto to our channel, which is simply this: why buy when you can DIY? And so, my darlings, my loves, until next time, and that'll be tomorrow for day 15 of Danie's Designs Craftmas 2018, I say to you, please, please, please take care of yourselves for me. Know that I love you all. Bye now.